very neat. You know, he went and met Peter Robinson and Martin McGuinness recently at Stormont. They brought him down for his work in promoting disabilities, and the whole way down we said, look, Jay, please, you know, we promised him he loves plain ice cream, vanilla ice cream. So like, you can have a gallon of this ice cream, you know, a litre of it. You can just, whatever you want, do not mention Celtic. No problem, I won't mention Celtic. He hadn't got through the revolving door and had asked Celtic, I asked all the security guards and the police who were supportive, and continued the whole way to met Peter Robinson. They told him that he supported Glentoran, and Jay went, who? And Peter Robinson went, exactly. But they took it all in a good laugh. You know, it was very, very funny.
Oh, brilliant. You know, I've got a good couple of friends in Lurgan. One of their kids goes to school with you. It's Lucy McVeigh. It's Lucy or Aaron McVeigh. My mate's Kieran McVeigh, the twins, Kieran and Connor.
I know Kieran, yes. I do know Kieran, yes.
Aye, me and my family, we go on holiday with Kieran in the summer with the boys and Lucy. So is it Lucy or Aaron? Yeah, Kieran and Connor. Yeah. Sorry. So I've been over in Lurgan a ton of times, you know.
Right, good. It's a lovely place.
Oh, I think it's brilliant, mate. Absolutely fantastic.
Lurgan is good now. Sometimes it gets a bad hit sometimes, but the people in it are just unbelievable. So we have a charity down to Pride, and honestly, the people in Lurgan would give you the shirt off their back, and that's not a lie. You know, they've raised so much money and raised so much awareness for our charity. They're just brilliant.
I know, and it's a big Celtic club you've got there as well in the centre of the town.
It's 50 years now. Next year, 2015, it'll be 50 years old. That's 50 years it's been going. It's been recently refurbished. Jay is the mascot of the club. You know, he was actually in it today. There, he calls into it as many times as he can get into it. But everybody in it is, you know, we all just love him, and he loves everybody in it as well. So it's a really good club, and we're actually having a fundraising night on Saturday the 27th in the club for a charity quiz and disco for our charity. So hopefully we'll have a sellout on it.
I remember seeing the video as well. You'd Lenny in your house.
No, that was actually in Lee Lennon's mother's house.
Oh, was it?
Lee Lennon was over in Lurgan, and we got a call. It was one Friday night. We got a call to say that from somebody saying that Neil wanted to meet Jay. But it was like 11 o'clock at night, and Jay was in bed sleeping, and we said, like, well, you know, where can we meet? And he says, like, can he come down on Sunday morning? Because he was staying in his mother's house for the weekend, and his mother just lives in the Shankill Housing Estate in Lurgan.
That's right.
So we went down on the Sunday morning. Naturally, Jay was beside himself with excitement, and Neil's father opened the door, and Jay opened the door, and the first thing Jay said to him was, "Is me nervous about meeting me?" So it was really down laughing, you know. So Neil came down, but Neil was just out of the shower because people were posting on the pages going, "Why did Neil Lennon take his wife in his bare feet?" But he was actually in his mother's house, and he was just out of the shower. You know, he had just been up, but he couldn't have been any nicer to Jay. You know, he sung "Hail, Hail" with him, and we went up the stairs and got on the top out of his bag and give it to Jay, and Neil Lennon was brilliant with Jay, and that was not just for the camera or for the press or anything. All the stuff that he'd done off the press and what people, you know, didn't know about was just fantastic. It was just so nice to him.
Brilliant, mate. Great to hear.
I wanted to bring up obviously Downs and Proud, Martin, because I mean I was over with the Kano there in October. I met yourself and Jay, and I didn't even spot Jay. My daughter spotted Jay. My daughter's not even into football. I mean, she just knows I support Celtic. But the thing is, I've shown her the videos of Jay, and she spotted him straight on the boat. So it's kind of photograph with Jay, and you were kind enough to send down some Downs and Proud stuff. I mean, that's her new knitting bag, and it's her new key ring on her school bag, and it's also my air freshener in the car as well. And Downs and Proud. I mean, do you want to give us a bit of background? Obviously, the background is Jay is kind of the mascot of Downs and Proud as well in terms. But obviously, you're at the head of it, you know, promoting it. And I myself have about 7 years experience working with, special needs groups, additional needs groups, you know, and I've been in, you know, lots of certain, you know, groups, you know, in that respect, you know, multiple different types of additional needs and special needs. But, Downs and Proud is specifically, I suppose, aimed towards Down syndrome. And Jay, I mean, just give us a bit of background on that, just to let us know, kind of the purpose and the aspect of what it is.
Yeah, well, Downs and Proud, we set up on my wife when Jay was born. Naturally, when you're having a baby and your baby's born, you want everything to be perfect, whatever perfect is these days. But we were told that we knew that there was something wrong. We actually asked the doctors and the nurses, "Is there something wrong here?" Because they were coming in and out, 11 years ago today. It was actually about this time as well, and they were coming in and out and checking things, and something just didn't seem right because it wasn't what had happened with Olivia. And I said, "Look, is there something wrong?" And a young nurse sort of looked at me, and and I don't know, there's something wrong here. What's wrong? She says, "We think your son has got Down syndrome." So it was, you'd think Muhammad Ali had just punched me in the face. It was hard to take. Well, not hard to take, but hard to take in. And then they also said after, within the same sentence was, "We think he's also got a serious heart problem." So the Down syndrome sort of went, we forgot about it, and it was running into a serious heart problem. So then he was put into an ambulance and rushed to the Royal, where he stayed for 6 months, and he was fighting for a few times for his life. But we got out of hospital, and he was great, and we made a promise to Jerry that if he pulled through, that we would try our best to make sure that he lived a normal life, and was treated the same as everybody else. I would add that failed, because
he's not living a normal life, Martin.
We never expected him to live, but so we looked around, and there was no support groups in our town. There's Portadown, and there's Craigavon, that sort of the Middlester area, and there was no support groups. And my wife said, "Look, where is all the children with Down syndrome?" There didn't seem to be anyone's about. And we really looked and said, "Well, there's 1 in every 1,000 children that's got Down syndrome, so there must be children about." So my wife found a wee group in the living room and asked parents to come down and sit and have a chat and talk about their experiences. And their experiences were not good. Just things weren't right. And we said, "Look, we're going to have to try and change people's attitudes here, because things, we've heard the words that children with Down syndrome would be called and all that there."
Yeah.
So we just said that we're not going to have that, and we made a promise that we were going to try and do something. So we formed Downs and Proud, and my wife formed Downs and Proud, and we just try to promote it. And it's a cross-community charity with 32 local children, and every one of them has benefited from it. And it's now, as I say, it's a local charity. People know about it, through Glasgow Celtic Football Club all over the world now, and it really has changed people's attitudes. I think it has, and it has raised a lot of awareness. And again, I have to say, the children themselves are just, every one of them is just fantastic. But Celtic Football Club and their support, it is a club like no other. There's 1,000 other clubs out there, and there's in Northern Ireland here, there's people support Rangers, people support Man United, Liverpool, all the big clubs. The only people that has really done anything and has promoted it so much is Glasgow Celtic. The Glasgow Celtic support, just the ordinary man in the street in Glasgow and Ireland and Belfast, Dublin, etc. So we can't thank you enough. Can't thank the Celtic support, whoever's listening out there. Brilliant as everyone is absolutely first class, and we appreciate it. The messages that we get from all around the world. We get checks, it's actually, I'm just sitting here looking, and there's an envelope that's come through there with £100, another one with £25. I go and look at these people and thank them, and some people maybe not even have £100, and they're sending it over here to Downs and Proud. It's extremely humble. It's unbelievable, in fact.
Yeah, it's amazing, mate. I mean, but you said a very poignant thing there. I mean, it's people's sort of perception and people's, how they view, special needs and how they view Down syndrome. Obviously Down syndrome, is obviously something you can visually, assess in a person. But the thing is, if you're not used to dealing with people's special needs, it can be a very sort of daunting thing for a regular person. And I think that's the kind of thing that, like Downs and Proud, and especially Jay, kind of breaks down. People realize, I've been in a company of hundreds and run workshops of hundreds of different of kids, like adults, kids, infants, and different levels of special needs. And like the one thing I've always walked away with was a sense of fulfillment and a love, right? Because there's this undiluted love that comes from kids because there's just this innocence and a brilliance about them that always made me happy. And I could never pass it on to anybody else because it would take you to kind of experience it yourself. You know what I mean?
It's totally there. I agree totally. And the people would, it is different. Even when I was younger and all, and we've seen children with Down syndrome. But Down syndrome wasn't even the word that they used. They used other words in them days. I wouldn't even repeat them because
you're absolutely.
But I think people will know the words that was used. But nowadays there's children with Down syndrome, but Jay there, maybe people don't even mention it. It's more he's got his own name now.
Yeah.
And people look at him and, the Down syndrome is sort of, everybody knows he has Down syndrome, but it's sort of, he's got his own new identity. The reason, and people have the videos I post up, those videos is only 5% of what happens in our house, every day. He's one lovable wee boy, and his love for Celtic. He doesn't care if we win lose a draw. He genuinely does not care. If Celtic get beat, it's everybody else's fault. Celtic.
That's like the show. So it is, Martin.
It's the referee's fault. It's the weather's fault. It's everybody's fault. But he just says, "Look, we'll win the next game, and that's all that matters." And it teaches we're I would be cracking up, going, "Probably do this and do that and do the other." He turned around and said, "Donny will win the next one." And hopefully we do win the next one. But he does. He brings a different perspective to life, like a different view, and I think kids with special needs in general do that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Martin, my wife runs a Montessori here in our house, and she's one of the only Montessoris in the area that actively takes special needs kids. And some of the stories she tells me of people, coming with their kids to the door looking for a place, with the stories they've been told, and literally haven't been turfed out of other places.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'll tell one story. This is one story. That there's a young girl you had here a couple of years ago, and a mother came to the door and said they had a place in a certain school in a very, very nice area, very close to me. And during the summer, they had a recess, and they found out, she had additional needs, special needs. And she went and told the lady who ran the school, and the lady said, "Okay, then I'll just take her name off the list." And that was it. That was the response.
It's not right. It's not right.
It's not right at all.
The same as well. The government cuts the look at stuff. Education's always cut, and the NHS is always cut. When they start with education, first thing they cut is special needs. It always has been. We'll give the top 5%. The boys who's going to the boys and girls who are going to maybe do well in the country and run the country. Maybe they get their cuts, their educations are not cut. It's those that maybe struggle to read and write, everything is cut on them, so that they don't stand a chance. It's not right. It's not right at all.
Yeah, but as well as Jay being a bit of a star, I mean, the past couple of weeks for you, Martin, have been mental, and plus, we've been on this show maybe close to 6 years now, maybe, and we've said many, many disparaging things about Georgios Samaras in terms of his on the park performance. But what an actual genuine human being that guy has turned out to be. The relationship between him and Jay is something that, obviously the Greek sports journalists and people all around Greek sports have noticed that this relationship, it's not for the cameras. It's not just for nothing. It's two people actually enjoying each other's company and actually connecting.
Yeah, it is. I think myself, it did start with I done an interview before BTV Live come on Tuesday or Wednesday night, and done last week, and done a bit of an interview with Jay, and there was also a couple of other things that was happening in Greece, and I'd say that it was the first time that Jay really loved Samaras was the goal that he scored against the 2-0 against Rangers. And he dived into the crowd. Now, I think, if it was me, I would run the whole way home to the house, if I scored against Rangers. And, I think everybody would, the ordinary person in the street, it would be their dream. And, you would end up diving into the crowd and going mad at yourself. But Jay has seen that. He's seen the reaction in this house. We were all going nuts in this living room watching the game. And he watched it 1,000 times because Sky TV kept repeating it. And then he watched it on YouTube, and then Samaras just become his favourite player. And also, Jay loves beards. anybody, he loves touching people's beards, right? And he would be sitting in restaurants and next to my dad look over and he'd be leaning over and touching some man's beard beside him. He's just sitting there like, Jesus, what's going on here? And I'm like, trying to explain to him. But